Hey everyone, this is the Mega Construx buildable Pokemon Gyarados, or however you personally choose to pronounce it. That's all good. I don't care. I'm not going to argue over pronunciations because it's silly. We know what we're talking about here. This is a very famous, popular, desirable evolution of Pokemon, and I feel like Mega has done a pretty good job of bringing it down into a buildable set. This is one of the larger of the sets from the first wave of releases for their Pokemon line. This one's about $30 US, and it came with 352 pieces. Actually took a little while to put together. You build basically each section separately, and not too many of them are fully repeated, so there's not too much total repetition. Some of the cores of the segments are repeated, but then you start putting kind of the cladding on the outside and things change around, and it all works out. It stands up very nicely. There's a nice integration with the kind of terrain build that they have down below with the water, which is done with translucent colors, and you've got some different shapes, and they've got splashes and waves and kind of foaming up. Just a couple of small rock outcroppings as well, and an Ultra Ball there with 2 printed pieces. This is a separate thing that you can roll around. It's just in a nice small scale, but the entire Pokemon itself is just attached with one single segment there. So all the rest of it, all the other pieces, can just be posed around however you want. You can get this to flatten out, yet you want to be careful with it and put some pressure down on that center part, because it's not glued together, it's not screwed in with bolts or anything. It's just using the standard building system, but kind of hold that in place, and then you can pose everything else around however you want. Look at that. That's actually pretty cool how that can be done. You can twist these segments around to show you the underside, which is all done with the lighter yellow color. You can twist them back around this way. You've got the nice fins. This is actually a 2-colored fin piece. These can be brought out as well if you want to just change that up a little bit. That same piece is also used up here. Actually, yes, the same piece, but just using a single color here. So that's actually done with the blue color, and then they add the white on as a paint application. It's a nice matte white, so it's not too glossy. This is just white plastic that's on there. The head can also be rotated around. Again, because of the way that it's built with just mostly standard building block styles of pieces, you do want to kind of hold a single section together and then move just at these larger joints. The major joints do have a good amount of friction, but the ones closer in, like you see this one right here, tends to want to fall down a little bit. Depends on exactly how it is posed, but that's something that you may want to look out for. I think they did a really nice job with this head here. It's able to open the jaw just a little bit farther, but you bring it together and the tongue becomes kind of continuous. That's a nice light pink color. This uses prints as well, so there's a paint application along the edge of that piece, paint application along the edge of this one, and of course you've got the eyes that are printed on there. Kind of change up the angles of the kind of faux whiskers if you want to. I don't know what the proper name is for those appendages. It's all good. You can see what they are. You can move those around a little bit. These can be moved in and out. There's a good amount of solidness to the whole thing. I like these pieces, which are actually also used as leaf pieces. They're nice parts. I really like the terrain as well, just how translucent it is. Depending upon what kind of surface you put it on, it's going to look like either ice or water. It works well on dark surfaces as well, because it starts to blend in. Some of the darkness will come through, and then that'll actually make it somehow just seem a little bit more like deep water to me from what I've seen, just personally. I like the build overall. Oh, just one segment here at the back has, rather than one of these large ball joints, it has just a single axis kind of hinge joint to bring that in and out. You can also remove the entire thing from the base, but again, you want to really squeeze things together. Some parts might come off how you don't want them, because it's really designed to be held on there securely, but you can bring that apart, just making sure those have stayed together. That's good. And then, just imagine different ways that you can pose this up and different scenarios for posing it. Bring it around the top of a computer monitor or something. Just a lot of different things you can definitely do. And of course, it's going to work just fine on the ground, but I personally tend to want to see things that are a little bit more in an action pose. But I appreciate the fact that you get these studs here on this lower segment that allow you to rear the whole thing up, to really put it into its attack or watch out kind of mode where it's prepared, because you can get it to stand up nice and tall and proud, and I think that's good. I think this does pretty much everything that I could ask of a set of this particular character. I really couldn't ask for more out of a buildable system. Certainly a little bit more realism would be nice, to not have quite as much constriction around these ball joints, to have it be a little bit more consistent, but all told, I don't think I can complain given the medium that's being used here. In summary, I feel like Mega has made a successful set out of this thing. I think that they made a lot of good decisions, and I'm happy with the Pokemon itself and also the base and the posability. This is nice. And that's about all I have to say about this set. I'm going to try out at least one more set from this line. I'm not going to guarantee that I will review every Mega Construx Pokemon set, but I'll try to at least cover a nice range of different sizes and prices. So stay tuned, thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.